These are very interesting times, and we are seeing some catastrophic happenings, but without much fanfare, without much resistance. The situation in Syria can be summed up very clearly as a completely US and Turkish supported armed insurrection to defeat a pro Russian, pro Iran regime which was already castrated and in a very adverse military situation because of the withdrawal of the Russian Air Force from Syria. As per our information, there were just 8 Russian aircrafts remaining in Syria, and these two were not being deployed in any operation. One thing is very clear, that the Syrian adventure is going to seriously destabilize the Middle East, and it has got all the signatures of the US deep state and, of course, the Israelis, who stand all to gain from the collapse of the Syrian Alawi regime, because the Israeli aim was all along to cut off the Iranian arms shipment supply route to Hezbollah, and this has been achieved by these Israeli or Jewish proxies with Muslim beards and claims that they are pious Muslims. Naturally, the mercenary trend, the proxy trend, the buying and selling trend to fight for any master who pays well has been the cardinal hallmark of Arab history. They are known for it, they are notorious for it, starting from the Karbala incident, where an Arab army massacred the whole Prophet's family for, very, questionable gains like a free Hajj or some other incentive. This is typical of the Arabs. The larger picture is that the Middle East is going to get destabilized. Of course, Syria will be destabilized, and its balkanization is a most likely prospect. Of course, the Kurds in the northeast, the Alawis along the coast, and the various Islamist groups in the central Syrian heartland are not going to coexist. Internal fights, factional fights are going to continue, and the scene is certainly set for disaster. Iran, as far as the reports indicate, is fast moving towards acquiring a nuclear deterrent, acquiring weapons of mass destruction, as some call it, and that is where they see the salvation. Proxies like Hezbollah, like Alawi Syria or Iraq, are no longer the Iranian priority. Certainly, they are straight going for the bomb, and it's a matter of time when this is announced. Could be weeks, months, but certainly in 2025 we will see that Iran is going to be a fully nuclear armed state. That is their only salvation. Otherwise, they can't survive. Syria, of course, will remain in chaos. Lebanon again will remain in chaos with another Sunni threat to Lebanon from Syria. The Middle East, certainly uncertain with all the enigmas and the question marks. Houthis, of course, will remain defiant. By and large, Syria has been an Israeli success, a clear Israeli success. And in the short term, the Israelis have achieved some objectives, but for how long that remains questionable. Syria is also a deep state USA ploy to get the future President Trump involved in a longer Middle East war. Whether President Trump bites the bait or not is questionable. There are also very strong reports about various internal threats to the president, and certainly there is always the gap between the cup and the lip, and till 25th January when he takes over, there is always, that element of uncertainty. And certainly, as we have seen in the two assassination attempts, this president certainly faces a threat because President Trump, after JFK, is the only president who openly threatened and challenged the US deep state, and certainly the greatest threat to the president elect is internal American threat. The organizations he wants to fix, like the CIA and the FBI, of course, they remain a major threat. And Syrian adventure, of course, will be a major challenge for the president elect when, God willing, he takes over on 25th January. Again, there are serious questions, and we sincerely hope that the transition takes place without any hindrance or without any spanner being thrown in the machine by the deep state, who certainly are very, very apprehensive and afraid about this major change of scene in the White House. Certainly, 2025 is not going to be a peaceful year.